Stress. Most of us feel this at some point during the day, either on the road or on the job.
Our show today, high technology and money. We begin with a brief cut.
In small amounts, stress can help us focus our attention, improve our performance. But too much stress, too often, can undermine our performance and actually undermine our health.
Damn computer went on.
This show is about stress, its biology and its psychology, and what you can do to minimize its negative effects in your life.
Julie, I just looked at the schedule, and you've got me down for Sunday again. I have more seniority than Janet, and you let her off.
One of the primary symptoms of chronic stress is free-floating anger. Anger that is more or less ever present and ready to erupt at any provocation.
The emotional and social consequences of allowing stress to build are significant. Not managing stress can contribute to irrational anger, drug and alcohol abuse, and sometimes to violent behaviors.
From all we've learned, there's really now no doubt that chronic stress has long-term health consequences. Certainly it's been linked to heart attack and stroke, possibly to breakdowns in the immune systems, and even to diseases such as cancer.
In the first half of this program, we'll discuss the biology of stress, the reasons why our modern environments may make us especially vulnerable to it, and the symptoms of excessive stress. In Part 2, we'll discuss methods of managing stress, including techniques both for avoiding stress and for mitigating its harmful physical.
When we understand both the psychology and biology of stress, we're best able to develop coping mechanisms.
Stress is caused by an interaction between external events and our internal biology. We react with what is called the general adaptive response.
The general adaptive response is actually very primitive. We often call it the fight or flight reflex. For example, when a reptile such as a turtle sees a shadow and tucks its head into its shell, it's reacting in a way that's very similar to the human's general adaptive response. This response is generated deep in the brain. It isn't normally affected by higher brain functions. That means that these higher brain functions aren't necessarily invoked in determining what constitutes a threat. Consequently, any event or situation that seems to threaten our safety, security, or even our status can induce this response.
When the general adaptive response kicks in, the sympathetic nervous system signals the adrenal glands to secrete hormones that are pumped through the bloodstream to all parts of the body. Virtually all body systems respond. Heart rate increases. Blood vessels constrict, raising blood pressure. Blood is diverted from the digestive system into the large muscles. Sugar is released from the liver into the blood. Clotting agents are released into the circulatory system. The thymus gland secretes hormones that trigger a boost in the body's immune response. All this occurs almost instantaneously. Alertness picks up, body systems boot up, and our bodies prepare for physical confrontation or flight.
The event that provokes the general adaptation syndrome is called a stressor. A threatening assailant, the sound of an explosion, a cry of fire, or the mere sight of a poisonous snake or spider provoke the general adaptive response in most people. And in situations like these, it's a good thing that the response occurs. The general adaptive response prepares us to run faster, fight harder, heal faster, and in most cases react more quickly. The increased adrenaline in our blood actually makes our bodies temporarily stronger. The general adaptive response improves our chances of surviving.
The general adaptive response isn't very useful when confronted with rush hour traffic or someone failing to use a turn signal. Nonetheless, we've carried our response over into our modern social environment. The result is stress, even when we know the response is useless or irrational.